Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. A very interesting piece of information coming from Russia Today, and the main character here is, how do you want to take it? Well, straight. Mr. Dmitry Peskov's son. Now, Dmitry Peskov is the Kremlin, the Russian president's spokesman. So the Kremlin spokesman. This is Mr. Dmitry Peskov. And we have Mr. Yevgeny Prigozhin, which is Wagner Group's boss. And he tells us that one of Mr. Peskov's sons served in the Wagner private military company, or, if you really want it, and we want to talk weasel, WAGNER Mercenary Group. All right, that is like, let's say, one of former President Barack Obama's daughters would have served in now defunct, or at least changed, Blackwater private military company. If you remember that one from Iraq. Remember that one? Yeah. So, I don't know. They were both accused for hanky-panky, so I don't know. Would that be okay? Would it be considered a hero? Would they be considered heroes, or what's going on? So let's see what Mr. Yevgeny Prigozhin has to say about Dmitry Peskov's son. I have to confess, I don't have to, I will confess, that for me Mr. Peskov, he acts and looks like a funny looking guy. That's how it is for me. But on the other hand, I realize that in order to be in the Kremlin and not be dead and be around Putin for so long, you gotta have some qualities, if you know what I mean. So I don't know if his little, way of being, it's kind of a, I don't know, a cover-up or something. I watched him speak a few times and I couldn't help but moving away from the interview because he was not, he didn't raise above my bar, I guess. But maybe he knew better what he was doing, answering, or better put, not answering those questions. They were asked by a Western media outlet interviewer a while ago, I don't know, about 7 years ago or so. So it's been then since I was Peskov. Anyway, so let's see what's going on here in this article, which comes from Russia Today, from April 21st, 2023. Kremlin spokesman's son has served in Wagner, PMC Group boss. Now, Dmitry Peskov's son has been and I'm quoting, regular artilleryman, and quote, Yevgeny Prigozhin says. Now, Yevgeny Prigozhin, the head of the Wagner Group, has claimed that one of the sons of Kremlin's spokesman, Dmitry Peskov, has served in the private Russian military company. The PMC boss made a revelation in a frontline interview published on Friday, which is today. And I'm quoting, one person I know is, in the parentheses, Kremlin spokesman, Dmitry Peskov, who at one time used to be considered a complete liberal. End quote, Prigozhin said. So he was considered a complete liberal. You know what that is, right? Yes. And I'm quoting again. His son lived part of his life in America, if I'm not mistaken, or in England. Peskov came to me and said, take him as a regular artilleryman. By the way, he worked out fine as a regular gunner, knee-deep in mud shit, on an Uragan. End quote, he added, referring to Russian BM-27 Uragan self-propelled 220mm multiple rocket launcher system. Prigozhin did not provide any further details, neither specifying which conflict Peskov's son took part in or even naming him explicitly. So far, Dmitry Peskov has made no public remarks on Prigozhin's revelations. However, the eldest son of Kremlin's official, Nikolai, appears to match the description provided by the PMC boss. Early into the ongoing conflict between Russia and Ukraine, Nikolai Peskov was slammed with personal sanctions by the US, with multiple allies of Washington following suit later on. Now, it was how long ago? Maybe right after the 24th of February 2022. And this was very much, or at least I saw it on some articles in the West, in the free mass media. That one, the corporate mass media, yeah, that one. And they were talking about some pranksters, yeah, wanker, pranksters who called, I think one of them was Prigozhin's son, and I think they told him that he's drafted. And they wanted to see his reaction. And he said that no, that could be solved, or no, that's a mistake, I will talk to people that I know, or something like this, which they thought that he's going to talk with his daddy, and daddy will just take him out of whatever. If I remember correctly, it was that guy who was one of Peskov's sons. I don't know, he's got more than one. I don't know if that's Nikolai or not. But anyway, it was mediator. He was in as I said, in the media for I don't know, about 3 days or 4 days, and then they dropped it because nobody was like, oh, okay, so what? Anyway, so this was the article coming from Russia Today about Prigozhin having Peskov's son enrolled in PMC Wagner. Well, what do you think about it? I mean, that's a private military company. You get paid, do the job, come back. Well, I don't know. It takes, if you ignore the names, right? Let's say you ignore, let's put, instead of, let's say, Wagner, instead of Wagner, however you want to call it, mercenary group, private military company, call it, let's say, the French Foreign Legion, which, you know, they are very fair and straight, and they abide by the Geneva Convention and all that, right? So imagine that someone goes over there and they are sent in certain kind of missions, and they do it and it's successful. How would you call that legionnaire or legionnaire? How would you call it? Would you call that guy courageous or not? Well, but you don't know if what happened in the mission. They would tell you that was a successful mission, and then you have others telling you that that mission actually, you know, committed crimes or something. What would you say? How would you consider the legionnaires? Well, the fact is that I don't know. It's just the actions of one person, and I don't know if he, as these guys say, he served anyone, he served anywhere or not. Prigozhin did not give any more messages, details, messages. And anyway, once he's going to open his mouth a little bit more, unless these guys are going to close it for him, you know, whenever he does that, I will let you know when he's going to be chirping a little bit more. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.